Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to technical session 3D. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 6th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Intelligent Systems through Zoom. Further, as you are well aware, we have been facing new normal situations while overcoming the pandemic, and the conference has been shifted to a hybrid mode. We hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. We also hope to have you at future physical version of this conference. Also, there is a special note for the presenters. You will be given 7 to 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder, and I request while the presentation is going on, other participants kindly be muted. There is another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. And just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair for the session, Professor Nilesh Popar Sable. Professor Sable is an associate professor in Bansilal Ramnath Agrawal Charitable Trust, Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, Pune, India. He has more than 15 years of academic experience in field of computer engineering, and he has more than 40 research publications at national and international journals and conferences. And his research area is interest is research domain includes IoT, data science, and data mining. Thank you, sir, for your presence.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and now moving forward for our presentation. Start with our first presenter is Taranjit Singh, and his paper title is Sampan, Automated System for Pension Disbursal in India. Case study Bsnl Vrs VRS Pension Disbursal.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'll just share my screen. Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is Taranjeet. I'm Assistant CGCA, Department of Telecom, Ministry of Communications, Government of India. Our paper is related to Sampan, which is an automated system for pension disbursal in India. So Sampan stands for System for Accounting and Management of Pension. It is an online cloud-based system which was developed by the Department of Telecom. It was dedicated to the nation by the Honorable Prime Minister on 29 December 2018. Sampan is a system which brings all the functions of pension, starting from processing, sanctioning, authorization, and disbursement under a common platform. And it also provides a single window system to cover that later on in the presentation. Currently, since launch, we have more than 1 lakh new telecom pensioners on board. And since inception, which is on 1st of January 2019. And we have 3.5 lakh old pensioners before the inception of Sampan. We wish to bring them onto Sampan in a phased manner in the near future. So, but why did we need Sampan in the first place? So in the previous process, before Sampan was initiated, 3.5 lakh pensioners were sanctioned pension by our field offices, which are called CC offices. And the pension was being disbursed by banks and post offices on a commission basis. So for every transaction, the banks and post offices would charge a specific fee of about 60 rupees or 80 rupees, depending on which intermediary it is. And this is how the pension was being paid. The shortcomings of this process was the pension would be sanctioned by the CC office, and then physical papers would move to the banks or post offices, and then they would do their own processing and then disburse the pension. So this used to lead to a delay of around 3 to 6 months. The arrears would get delayed. At times there would be long disbursement of pension. And there was a gap between the pensioner and the department. The first point of contact for the pensioner was the bank or the post office. The department did not know what the grievance of the pensioner was. And another big factor was the commission outgo to these banks and post offices. We were paying, or we still are paying for those old pensioners, around 35 crores approximately per annum. So that is the reason why Sampan was born. It was born with the tagline of Sanchar Pension, Seedha Vitran. The objective obviously was in line with the government's objective of minimum government and maximum governance. And this is the first of its kind system where the pension was directly paid by a government department into the accounts of pensioners. So the technically, it is hosted on the government's cloud, which is Meghraj. It has 3 application servers, 2 database servers, 2 reporting servers, and there is a disaster recovery site which has 1 application, 1 database, and 1 reporting server. Very briefly, the business architecture of Sampan. So there are 3 main modules of Sampan. First is the head of office section, where the from where the retiree actually retires, the pensioner retires. That's where the form filling happens. Then we have the pension sanction section, where the EPPO, which is the electronic pension payment order, which is generated. And then we have the PDA section, from where the payment happens. Then we have a module for pensioner, where he has a login. He or she can go and track the application, lodge grievances, view his or her payment ledger, and can do a lot of other things as well. We have a mobile version and we have a web version. We have an app on the Play Store, and we've integrated with PFMS, which is the Public Financial Management System, for payment of pension directly into the accounts of pensioners. And we obviously integrated the system with SMS gateways and email gateways. So what are the benefits to the pensioners? It provides a single window system. This was not there earlier. Now there is a single window system. All the services that the pensioners require can be done through Sampan itself. The second benefit is he or she can easily track the case from his or her home. There is a facility of EPPO. The government has recently mandated provision of electronic PPO. We've been doing it since 2019. We directly credit pension into the accounts of CC offices. There is on-time payment without any hassle. There is an online grievance redressal system. He or she can lodge the grievance online, and we can see at the headquarters, we can track which grievance is pending for how long, and we can fix the accountability. We provide SMS and email alerts automatically to the pensioner. So this is just to show how the online grievance redressal has improved. Earlier, there were different players. Right now, there is a single window system. So what are the benefits to the department? First being the cost saving. Since launch, we've saved around close to 12 crore rupees, and this is recurring savings. So as and when we cover the months, and as and when we onboard more pensioners, we will end up saving more and more money for the government. This has led to digitization. The paperwork work has reduced. There is faster and reliable settlement. We've just recently enabled inter-circle transfer of cases. So if a person retired in Delhi, the pension was settled in Delhi, and now he has moved to Mumbai, the case can be transferred to Mumbai. There is ease of accounting. Earlier, there was some part of manual accounting involved. Right now, it is all digital. It happens automatically. There is accountable grievance redressal, as I mentioned. And this is a scalable system. So we are paying pension to government employees. We are paying pension to Bsnl employees. We are paying pension to, soon we'll be paying pension to MTNL pensioners as well. And this can be adopted by any government department or any autonomous body. We've designed the system in such a manner. So the case study that we've also mentioned in our paper is related to Bsnl Vrs 2019. So as part of the Bsnl revival package, government announced a voluntary retirement scheme. In this scheme, 78,000 employees had opted for the scheme, and we settled the cases, 99% of the cases, we settled them in around 6 months. So the scheme was announced in around November 2019, and we had to start making payments from February 2020 onwards. So we had a very short period of time wherein we had to make the changes and onboard all these pensioners. So the challenges were the specifics of the schemes were very different from normal pension plans. Those modifications had to be carried out. Obviously, the number was huge. There were 78,000 pensioners who had to be migrated. There was data migration of all of these pensioners. If we had to do it manually, it would have taken a lot of time. And manpower optimization and utilization, especially during the pandemic. So the keys to success were, we did not do any manual entry of data. We integrated with Bsnl's ERP, and we fetched the data, all the data from the ERP system. We asked Bsnl to use the HO module, which is the first module where the form filling has to happen. Earlier, we were filling them on their behalf, but now they've filled it themselves. There was online form filling by retirees. Again, we were filling them on their behalf earlier, but now we asked them to fill them online. We had a dedicated support team around the clock sitting at the headquarters. We provided extensive training. We went to all the zones. We created master trainers. They in turn created trainers, and thereby there was a loop of training, and thereby it was easier for everybody to get onboarded on the system. And there was persistent effort by our employees in the CC offices. They worked throughout during the pandemic. And since it was an online system, it was easier for them. They could also work from home. And And finally, this is a graph. These are two graphs just to show you how big this exercise was. Since January 19 to January 2020, these are cumulative figures. We had just onboarded about 13,000 pensioners. But since February till July 2020, which is in a span of 6 months, the cumulative figure rose to close to 84,000. So we onboarded around 70 to 72,000 pensioners in that short span. That shows the nature of work which was involved, and we did it successfully. So Sampan, as I said, is a scalable system, and our vision is to keep it scalable. Our vision is to take it to other departments. Other departments should adopt it, and the benefit that it provides to pensioners, it makes it hassle-free. Pensioners are senior citizens, so we need to make their life as hassle-free as possible, and that is what our vision is, and that is what we are working towards. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Now it is only means whatever you have presented, it is only done for central what we can say central service person, right?
Yes, sir. This is currently for the central government itself. Specifically, it is for Department of Telecom. But as I said, it is scalable and it can be replicated at any other organization if they want to get onboarded. Government organization or a government autonomous body, they can get onboarded as well.
So it is quite, this case study is quite related to one authorized book was published by Scheme for Payment of Pensions by Central Government of Civil Pensioners, right?
So that case study was specific to us. Bsnl Vrs scheme was announced by the government, and we had to carry it out using this system.
Okay. Okay, fine. That's it. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so now I would like to invite our next presenter, Shraddha Vithakkar, and her paper title is Folk Computing, Recent Trends and Future Challenges. Shraddha, are you there? I think so she is not here right now. So moving forward, our next presentation, Debalina Bark, and her paper title is Study of Fake News Detection Techniques Using Machine Learning.
Yes, sir, I am ready.
Please share your screen and start the presentation. Debalina, please be quick.
Hello, sir. Shall we proceed for the next one?
Yes. Our next presenter is Vipul Saluja, and his paper title is Present NLP Status for Dogri Language.
Good evening, sir. I'll just share my screen. Am I audible?
Yes, you can.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Good evening and namaste, everyone. I am Vipul Saluja from the University Department of Computer Science, University of Mumbai and RD National College, Bangalore, Mumbai. I am presenting paper number 296 on present NLP status for Dogri language, which have been co-authored with Jyotsna Dongadeve and Annie Rajan from the University of Mumbai. Dogri is an Indo-Aryan language, which is basically spoken in India and Pakistan. In India, it is spoken by 2.6 million people in the areas of Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, and Himachal Pradesh. It is also spoken in the Sialkot and Shakargarh tehsils of Pakistan. Dogri is the second prominent language of Jammu and Kashmir. Dogri was given the status of being an independent literary language of India by the Sahitya Academy, Delhi, on 2nd August 1969. Later on 22nd December 2003, it was added in the 8th schedule of the 22 official languages as per the Constitution of India. And now, in 2020, it has been recognized as the official language of Jammu and Kashmir. Thus, it can be seen that Dogri is a progressive language. Some facts about the Dogri language. Before Dogri was being declared as an independent language, it was considered someone had muted me actually. Okay, I continue. Before it was being declared as an independent language, Dogri was considered to be a dialect of Punjabi. During the rule of Ranveer Singh, Doga Akha script, it was used to write Dogri, which was later replaced by the Devanagari script in India and the Naslic form of Persian-Arabic script in Pakistan. The people that speak Dogri are called Dogras, and the area where Dogri is spoken is known as the Dugar area. Dogri was first mentioned by the Hindi Persian poet Mr. Amir Khusrau in the line Sindhi O Lahiri O Kashmiri O Dugar. Coming to the survey which has been done, 3 corpus resources for Dogri have been identified. That is the text corpus, the speech corpus resources, and the digital resources. Now we will look at each of them one by one. The Linguistic Data Consortium for Indian Languages, which is a scheme of the Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Human Resources Development, Government of India, which has been implemented by the Central Institute of Indian Languages, Mysore. They have developed a raw text corpus for Dogri across various domains as illustrated in this table. The domains being aesthetics, mass media, social sciences, science and technology, and commerce. In the NCDIL, it has also created a Dogri speech data corpus of 17 hours, which have been collected from 61 speakers from different genders and different age groups for various domains, ranging from phonetically balanced words, words of command and control, names and places, news and contemporary texts, and various other domains as tabulated. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY, Government of India, have developed tools such as typing utilities, open office, browsers, email clients, messengers, content management systems, which work across the Windows and Linux operating systems. This is an attempt to bring about the software localization of Dogri. This slide is presenting a list of the different NLP, that is the natural language processing tasks, which have been undertaken for Dogri language, which have been studied in this article. These include topics, the NLP tasks like machine translation, morphological analysis, named entity recognition, part of speech tagging, and various other NLP tasks. As we can see, a lot of work is done on machine translation. Various machine translation systems have been developed for Hindi to Dogri machine translation using different approaches like the rule-based approach, the Mosses approach. Mosses approach is the statistical machine translation approach. These systems have received an accuracy ranging from 80 to 98%. 4 papers have been identified for part of speech tagging for Dogri language. Hidden Markov model, the rule-based tagger techniques are used for POS tagging. Also, a hierarchical tag set for annotating Dogri corpus has been developed, which can be used for other NLP tasks. A morphological analyzer using an open source platform, Appretium, has been discussed in one of the published works. Various supervised and unsupervised machine learning techniques for other NLP tasks like the named entity recognition, stemming, summarization, stock word generation, polysemy identification, WordNet, code-based text have been discussed or proposed in various studied articles. let us look at some of the challenges which have been faced by the Dogri language. One of the biggest challenges which have been faced with the Dogri is that it has not developed systematically due to a lack of medium of instruction and teaching at the middle, high school, and the undergraduate levels. Thus, we say that Dogri writing has not yet evolved as a systematic language. The semantics and the vocabulary, and hence the meaning of Dogri changes in the lowlands as compared to that in the mountainous regions. Thus, there are a number of dialects which are spoken and written for teaching and research at various levels. Now, conclusion from the study. An important thing what we have noted is that the size of the corpus for which the various NLP tasks have been performed, the size is limited. Very small size of data corpus has been used for performing these NLP tasks, the various NLP studies which have been undertaken. And as and how the size of the corpora would increase, the accuracy may decrease. Also, there is a lack of proper annotated corpora for Dogri. Thus, there is a need for annotated Dogri corpus of a significant size, which may help to promote various research activities. The work done here also presents a comprehensive survey of the NLP research which has been done in Dogri till the time of the publication of the paper. This research can be used as a benchmark for other researchers to work upon. The future work. After the removal of Article 370, a lot of initiatives are being taken by the government for the promotion of Dogri. One of the important tasks which needs to be done is to create an annotated corpus for Dogri language in order to promote the various NLP research activities. This can be achieved by involving a large number of native Dogri speakers who can help in generating and validating the corpus. The NLP tasks like the sentiment analysis, transliteration, segmentation have not yet been explored for Dogri. These tasks can also be initiated. These are some list of the references. I thank my co-authors, Dr. Jyotsna and Dr. Annie, for their constant and valuable support during the study, and also ICTIS for providing this platform for presentation of this paper. Thank you.
Sir, have you taken sentence structuring into consideration while doing this?
Sir, right now I have just done a survey of the various NLP tasks which have been performed by the people for the Dogri language.
Okay, while that is what I am asking you,
Yes,
that while doing the survey,
yes,
there are major, NLP has been done in various languages. Indian context, there are a number of languages are there. In various languages already this NLP has been done. While
yes,
doing the NLP, there are some issues are there. Like we can say dealing with emotion is there, metaphor
yes,
is there, then ambiguity, you can say syntactic, semantic, all these things has to be considered. So
yes.
have you considered which parameters you have basically gone through? Means which are the major parameters that you have considered while doing this?
The machine translation, part of speech tagging, and named entity recognition.
Okay.
Okay, so moving for our next presentation.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Shraddha Whitaker, and her paper title is Fog Computing, Recent Trends and Future Challenges.
Sure, sir. Sir, my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, myself, Shraddha Thakkar, a lecturer at Government Polytechnic Gandhinagar, and my co-author is Dr. Jaykumar Dave, Associate Professor at Secretary Patel University. My paper title is Fog Computing, Recent Trends and Future Challenges. It's a survey paper Uh, okay, this is the outline of my presentation. So first I will discuss the introduction, that is the golden era in the computing, types of computing, fog computing, comparison of a cloud and fog, application, advantages, research challenges, motivation, literature of, and the conclusion and future work. So first I can say in 2000, between 2000 to 2005, edge computing were introduced in the era of the computing, and from 2005 to 2010, cloud computing was introduced, but with simultaneously with the IoT. And after 2010, fog computing has been introduced. So what is the need of a fog computing? So we can see that Internet of Things is a broader and broader, we can say, generating a broader and broader data, which cloud computing alone cannot handle it. So fog computing has been introduced into after 2010, and it continues till date. Types of computing. So mainly three types of computing: cloud computing, edge, and fog. So we will see detail in the fog computing. So what fog computing exactly? Fog computing is a distributed computing environment which is directly connected to the IoT devices. So IoT devices will generate the data which will handled by the fog, and it will decrease the work of the cloud. Next, this is the comparison of a cloud and a fog computing. In a cloud computing, latency time will be higher comparatively to fog computing. Cloud computing will be server within the internet, and in fog computing, it serves at the edge of the network. Cloud has a no user defined security, and the security purpose, fog is a more secured. This is prone to attack, and fog is a safe in comparatively to the cloud computing. Next is the applications of the fog computing. These are some, I have studied some papers, and from that I have listed this kind of the applications. First is a smart grid, connected card, smart traffic light, real-time rail monitoring, real-time windmill, real-time health analysis, pipeline optimization, and intelligent power efficient system. So if we see the smart grid computing, we can see in the figure number 7, there are homes, industries, hospitals, offices. This will generate more and more data, which if we send it to the cloud, then cloud, it will very far from our devices. So the latency time will be increases, as well as the processing of the cloud is very costly. So it is a better option that those data, widely generated data, will be handled by the fog node, and the required data is go to the cloud. Otherwise, the fog will process the data and send back to the our edges. Next is a connected cars. So we can see the self-governing vehicles are upcoming trend in the market. Like Tesla has introduced the automatic hands-free cars. So in that kind of the cars, if the one car is not communicating with the others, accidents may happen. So in this case, fog computing is very important. Next is a smart traffic light. So when we introduced a fog in the smart traffic light era, what it will do, it will detect the light, sounds, etc. So it can decide the priorities of the vehicle. Same way in the real-time rail monitoring system, it can track the railway in a real-time sense. Next is a real-time windmill and turbine analysis. We can say that windmill and turbine are required a real-time data generation, and real-time health analysis is also very important. When some heart patient or a stroke patient will go to the hospital, if we using the fog in a healthcare, they will send the data priorly to the hospital, and doctors can make decision before patient arrives. Next is a pipeline optimization in gas and oil, that kind of sensitive things. We can use this fog. Intelligent power efficient system, also we can use this fog. And the advantages of the fog computing are, it's a deployable in the remote places. Next is data handling is also very easy. Next is business agility. Using the fog computing, you can develop your business, even you can scale your business, because the latency time and data will be decreased in the fog computing. Next is reduced unwanted accidents. As I said earlier, in the road, it can take decisions Next is a better privacy. It also provides the privacy better. Next is a security and low operation cost. Power consumption, data security, and reliability is obviously better in the fog computing. Next is a fault tolerance, real-time analysis, and programming architecture is also very easy for the fog computing. Next, this is the motivation. My motivation, why I have choose the fog computing. So Internet of Things improve our lives, and its rapid growth also being very difficult to handle by the cloud computing in the manner of shortage of the resources. So compared to cloud computing, it is better for responsibly allowing a fast response time and reducing the latency as well as the traffic. This is the literature survey which I have done for choosing my area. So I have referred 23 papers total. So first is a fog computing using P2P, peer-to-peer connection. Next is a fog assisted IoT enabled patient monitoring system, in which the patient will be monitored remotely. If the patient is not able to go to the hospital, the doctor will use the fog assisted device and monitor continuously. Next is a fog cloud computing to fog computing platform of Internet Things. How cloud computing is moved to the fog computing. This is the complete era. Next is a fog IoT fog based healthcare framework to identify the control the hypertension patient. If the we can use the fog computing.
You are moving out of time. You are moving out of time. Just be fast.
Okay, fine, sir. So these are the sir papers which I have reviewed. This is the conclusion. Fog is a perfect partner of the cloud and IoT. It can solve the primary problems and provides a real-time analysis and the monitoring. This is my future work, sir. So I will. I want to go in the healthcare fog computing, sir. This is the references, sir.
Can you tell me, is the fog computing replacement for cloud computing?
No, it's not replacement, sir. It's just supporting, sir. It cannot replace, sir.
Okay, it cannot replace. Whether fog computing and edge computing, it is same?
No, sir. It's a different, because in a fog computing, it is process the data at one level, and edge computing, it is processed at the same on the devices, sir, on the edge of the device.
Edge computing is also doing the same.
But sir, fog is process the data not on the edge of the server, sir. It is one layer between cloud and IoT devices, sir.
You just go through it, that read it for fog computing as well as your this edge computing.
Okay, okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Moving for our next presentation. Debali Nirvad, a study of fake news detection techniques using machine learning.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Please share your screen and start the presentation.
So my paper is on study on fake news detection techniques using machine learning, authored by Debolina Barik, Sutitya Kumar Guho, and Shanta Funi. I am Debolina Barik from Bengal Institute of Technology, Kolkata, West Bengal. All the news that this is the outline of the presentation. That is a brief introduction, motivation behind choosing the topic, our approach, results, conclusion, future scope, and references. In this digital era, we have come across a lot of news. All the news that we see are not real. They may be false, spurious information furnished as news, which in other words is called fake and false news. So in today's world, due to emerging use of social media platforms, fake news is spreaded like a bonfire in the online world. Social media and news media publish fake news to increase the viewership and readership among people to make the post trending. The people get easily attracted psychologically by the fake news. Our approach was to detect a fake news detection technique, and we have proposed a new method in detecting fake news, and we have verified the results of our method on 2 data sets, namely the liar dataset and ban fake news. Motivation behind choosing the topic was that fake news has a very adverse effect. It may be fake news is adversely affecting the individuals and society to a greater extent, and fake news intentionally convince consumers to trust false beliefs and take biased decisions. It is usually manipulated by propagandists to spread political messages, communal messages, or faithless statements. They confuse the people and the society, and people lose hope. So we are working on this topic, and we have performed the these steps, that is, we have examined the statements and the corresponding labels against each document ID in the liar dataset, and we have extracted 1,000 most frequent words and arranged them in descending order of their occurrences. Then we have calculated the term frequency, that is TF, and term frequency inverse document frequency, TF IDF, of each word against the document ID. And then from the TF IDF, we have tried to predict the labels of each document ID, labeled as in the case that is fake or true. These are the features of liar dataset. There are 14 features, but we have worked on only the 3 top features, that is the ID field, label field, and the statement. The labels of the liar dataset has 6, that is, it is half true, false, mostly true, true, barely true, and pants fire. We have used different machine learning classifiers to detect the accuracy of our model, that is logistic regression, support vector machine, decision tree classifier, random forest, and k nearest neighbors. We have also used different train test ratio, that is 80% training and 20% testing set, 75% and 25%, and 70% and 30%. And we have tested our methods using the basic machine learning algorithms only. Now, this is the methodology that we have used. We have took the liar dataset as a data frame in Python and used only the ID label statements as our features, combine the statements of the entire dataset into a corpus. From the corpus, we have done noise removal in our dataset and then counted the occurrences of each word, is 1,000 most frequently used words, and we have calculated the TF IDF of these 1,000 words. The next step, we have coded the 6 labels of the liar dataset into different classes. Like it can be 0 to 0. We have used 6 classes, we have used 2 classes, and we have used 3 classes respectively to check the accuracy of our model. Coming to the results. Now, this is the classification results on 80-20 split for case 1. In case 1, we have taken, there are 6 labels, as I have already told. These 6 labels are differentiated into 2 classes, that is 1 and zeros, where true and mostly true is labeled as 1 and the rest 4 are labeled as 0. Here we can see that in case of linear regression, we are getting a higher accuracy, that is 65.7%. Then we have used the labels, that is we have just used the half true to be we have used in the next case, we have used half true as 1 instead of 0, and we have get an accuracy, less accuracy than the previous one, that is 61.2% for random forest and radial SVM. Then we have used the results of 80-20 split in where we have taken only true as 1 class label as 1 and the rest as 0, here we are getting a very high accuracy, that is 84.8%. For the 4 cases, that is linear regression, random forest, linear SVM, and radial SVM. Now we have done a 80-20 split for all the 6 labels, that is the 6 labels has been coded into 6 classes, 0 to 5. And here the accuracy rate is very low, that is 25%. Now we have used the same method on a different data set, that is banned fake news data set. And we have used the 80-20 split. Here, for the random forest, we are getting a 99.4% accuracy using our methodology. Coming to the conclusion, we have proposed the fake news detection methods and checked the liar dataset using results on the liar and banned fake news dataset. Here, banned fake news is a Bengali, consists of Bengali statements and liar has English statements. We have calculated the most frequently 1,000 words. And we have found a significant rise in accuracy while using our fake news data model on fewer coded labels, as I have shown in the results. If the labels are increased, the accuracy decreases. The maximum has been reached to 84.6%. If it is scaled down, that is true is only 1 and the rest is false. The rest is 0. Sorry. Also, in case of banned fake news, we have got a significant accuracy, that is 99%. The future scope of our result proposed method will be, we will be using bidirectional encoder representation from transformers, that is BERT, recurrent neural networks, RNN, and long short-term memory, LSTM, for our future work. These are the references, a very few references that is important for these slides. Thank you all.
Just there are various what we can say research which is done on this now. Okay, what are major findings of your research?
Actually, the liar data set means this paper, William Wang has done the research on LSTM they have used, but the accuracy was very less, that is 25%. But when we have coded into less classes, I have seen that there is a increase in the accuracy rate. So that is the main, we have mainly seen this. So
but getting into less classes, whether it is feasible for checking the accuracy?
Yes, sir. We are getting like this one. Suppose I have there are 6 labels. I have used one. True is only coded as 1. The rest 0.
Listen. As per dataset, it is okay. But whether actually it works, like reducing the labels, that is not the solution, I think so.
Actually, we will be testing with BERT and LSTM later to check the accuracy.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's it.
Yes, moving
Thank
for
you,
our
sir.
next presentation. Meghna Ganappa, and her paper title is Tangential Baby Care Solution for Smart Parenting.
Yes, sir.
Please share your screen and start the presentation.
Yes, sir. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today's paper is about cognitive baby care, written by me, Meghna, and my friend Anisha, mentored by Dr. V. Sirisha, Nagratna Hegde, and Sashi Kumar. In 21st century, when every family has their own busy lives, especially in metropolitan areas where there is a lot of work-life imbalance, pediatric care by the parents to the children is very important and is also very challenging because everyone is involved in their work. So this problem can be solved by our solution, which is the IoT solution, which we have brought forward, is that it detects the wetness of the mattress by the child, and also the emotions of the baby can be monitored. And the prototype which we have designed is of 95% success rate. And we have reviewed the literature work such as the baby care detection in domestic environment using deep learning by Y. Lefnar, Cohen, and Runsky. And this paper is mainly focused on about the detection of baby cry using audio signals. This algorithms use like logistic regression classifier and MEL frequency spectrum coefficients. And the second paper focusing upon the detection if the cradle is wet or not. And coming to the methodology, the first one is have stated the cradle is wet or not, we can detect it. And the second one is the baby is crying or not, we can know the emotions in that. Emotions by using deep face library. This is the flow chart for that. You can see that if the cradle is wet, the moisture is sensed by the water sensor, and then the message is sent to the parents. And same as that, when the baby is crying, the baby expression is being recognized and the message is sent to the parents. As you can see, this is the output and this is the prototype of that project. And the implementation, as the first one, to check if the cradle is wet or not, we have used a water sensor. As a water sensor consists of 3 pins. One is the positive, ground, and sensor. The water is sensed if the D2 pin is low, and at that very instant, if the D2 pin is low, the event is being triggered and the message is sent to the parent using IFTTT webhook service. Then if to detect if the baby is crying or not, we use the deep face library module in Python for emotion recognition. It detects 5 emotions, that is sadness, happy, fear, surprise, neutral, and anger, and displays the emotion which is very dominant. If the emotion is fear or sad or anger, the message will be sent to the parent using IFTTT service. And so for some time, the baby can be relaxed by using by playing a song that we have implemented using play sound library. The baby can be monitored by using OpenCV module also. And this execution of the monitoring is done every 5 minutes. And the hardware which we have used is Node MCU, water sensor, connecting wires, software, Arduino Uno, Jupyter Notebook, Python modules such as DeepFace, Request, Play Sound, OpenCV, and Matplotlib. And also we have used the Wi-Fi module, ESP Wi-Fi 826s, and IFTTT webhooks. Conclusion, we can say that we have developed the baby monitoring system to dynamically send the messages to the parent if the cradle is wet or the baby is crying or not in the state of fear or sadness. We have implemented using Node MCU and IFTTT service and some Python libraries. And the future scope is that we can add on some other functionalities such that the weight sensor, if the baby is present in the cradle or not, and we also track the heart rate and pulse of the baby. That's it, sir. Thank you.
How you have tested the accuracy of it? 95%.
Actually, we have done the live experiments. Like we have put it in the baby cradle.
How many data you are having?
Sir?
How many data you have collected from that experiment? Whenever you are coming to the conclusion of 95%, you should have some ample amount of data with you, right? Like readings.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, are you having that much bulk of data with you?
Actually, we can see it, right? like in the real time experience, we can see it, sir, like the baby is crying or not, we can actually see most of the time like that, sir. And we also tested for some other pictures also, like image recognition also we have done that, sir. Some pictures too.
Okay, fine.
So moving for our next presentation, Nada Rajguru. She's presenting on implementing AI-based comprehensive web framework for tourism.
Yes, sir.
Please share your screen and start the presentation.
My team, my other co-authors are joining. Janam, just open them.
Yes. Good evening, panelists. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Continue.
Good evening, panelists. Our topic is implementing AI-based comprehensive web framework for tourism. I am
Open the PPT.
Introducing myself. I am Jainam Shah along with Nada Rajguru and Harsha. Is my screen visible?
PPTs are not visible.
The PPT is not visible.
Wait a second. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay, so the name of our topic is implementing AI-based comprehensive web framework for tourism. So mainly our topic is a website for facilitating tourists, and unlike other different number of websites, our system streamlines and processes all the required information for trip planning, making it easier and convenient for the users. The system does that by using the recommendations with the help of machine learning and processing the data subsequently. Next. So our main objectives are to include hotel booking, flight booking, recommendation system for suggestions, an AI chatbot for customer support and better user experience, and a forum for users to relate their queries. Next. So after reviewing some of the papers related to the topic, it could be seen that characteristic information of an entity can be used to define contextual information used for building personalized recommendations for users. To provide these recommendations, proper application of algorithms in recommendation systems is required. The recommendation system results could differ differently based on data quality. Another research by Yocheng and Ryan suggests utilization of hybrid recommendation systems, including content-based recommendations, reference-based recommendations, to strategize the business or application effectively. Next. Next. Done.
The problem that we have identified, as many tourists are planning to go on a trip, whether with a family or friends or cousins, anywhere with anyone, the first thing they will do is going to Google and searching for the places where they can visit to enjoy their holidays. Still, they don't get a perfect result from the web. So they still expect with a perfect trip or advisory services, even though for booking hotels and flight, they need to go on and visit multiple websites searching for their preferred choices, whether it is 1 bed, 2 bed, the hotel should have swimming pool, the attraction places, we can say, as many tourists come only to other state for only for an hour. So they wanted to choose the hotels and the appropriate things nearby airports. So they didn't get the perfect result by searching on Google. So this all problems that we have identified through going through this project. And as I told you, our system will provide user with booking of hotels and flight according to their preferences. Like they wanted to go on a flight with 1 round, 2 round, anything, they can go on through their website and then book their hotels and flight of their choices. And also recommending places. This is the main thing that we have identified, and our project has the main scope of it. as the recommending places nearby hotels to help the user to book hotel as per their choices. As in state there are many hotels, so and each hotels has there some different kind of attraction places nearby their places. So to help the user finding and choosing their hotel is to giving a recommendation system, like all attraction places are there nearby their hotels. So this is the main scope that we have identified. As going through the trip, the user will face any kind of difficulties. To solve these difficulties, AI chatbot comes into place to solve the basic queries of the user. And if the query is not being solved by the user, the forum is also created for the user for the customer support and solving their any queries which is not being solved by the AI chatbot. So after some few hours, the admin will give the answer to the user and clear their queries. The technology stack that we have used to create this project for front end is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And for backend, that is ML or ML part, we can say that is Flask, Pandas, NumPy, and NLTK, which is being used for the AI chatbot. And the database which will store the data of the user by which is login, logout, and all things to store the user trip and all things, the MongoDB comes into place.
Okay, now looking into what actual findings we are providing to other as a new research and filling the researches, the finding gaps are we are providing a complete trip itinerary. We initially it's going to be a complete suggestive plan as per what user is interested and according to his preferences. He is getting an option of getting a full plan according. For example, if the user attends, he inputs the starting date and the end date, he gets a complete plan. He gets 5 hotels for the complete plan. He could select and customize according his interest and preferences, and then he'll also get recommended hotels as per his choices. Then he'll get restaurants according to restaurants uh, based on breakfast, dinner, and lunch, and then those will also be recommended based on what he likes and what he prefers. For example, he really likes Chinese food, he's going to get recommended by Chinese food. These data that is going to be collected about his preferences is going to be based on what the past users reviews, as well as what the content. It's going to be both content based as well as a collaborative. Going forward, we also going to provide as many uh, systems provide the hotel booking and flight booking. Our system also provides those along with the recommendation part, and also to conclude the basic queries, he also gets the AI chatbot part. Continuing forward, um, this is the flow of how our project is going to go, where initially is going to get a suggestive part, and then the hotel recommendation, the tour recommendations, the packages, as well as the inbuilt packages is going to provide. Next, this is a brief where the user is going to enter the destination, then the hotel list is going to be generated. He could look the nearby attraction places as per the generated list of the hotels. Uh, he could customize it throughout his plans, throughout his trip, and and at the end he could come up with the final itinerary. Next. So this is how our design is actually working. Initially, the login, the user is going to go through our websites with hotel attraction places, where rest all recommendations. After he gets a suggestive plan, he'll also get recommendations of nearby restaurants according to the location, uh, and as well as the AI chatbot to solve the basic queries. Next. Now looking into how it is beneficial for environment and society, since the existing system does not fulfill a customized plan for the user, our system is going to provide a customized plan which could be very beneficial for uh, the tourist or who's going to plan a tour. So one of the system is going to be beneficial for the tourists, as well as it's going to be beneficial as we are going to provide an AI chatbot. The system is going to be very quick and very responsive. Also, he could contact and have a query solved very quickly. Next.
The future scope that we have identified that our project can go further and can do various things, like if a recommendation system which is listing out through the hotels, we can develop based solely on considering the visual contents of the video. It would be more accurate for the recommender system, and also more attractive for the user to go on to the hotels where the all the places are recommending, and more realistic step towards achieving this that we can develop through a model and could make recommendation according to the visual contents of the video shots instead of the whole video. That a small part of a video which would be through the hotels, which will be seen on through the website. The conclusion that our project will be seen, that is, in our project we have created an e-tourism website that will allows a user to find hotels suited to the user budget and preferences, like they need to go through any kind of budget and their attraction places, and helping the user to book their hotels, and also providing with the flight booking as well. The project implements a recommendation system, which is the main part of our project, to search hotel as per their preference, and the even through the previous travel history that they have visited, and also the AI chatbot to solve their queries for user experience and provide quick supports, and to respond to the user queries. The forum will come into the picture. Thanking everyone, thanking the panelists for joining and giving the time. Thank you.
How you use previous travel history here?
Yes, sir.
How you have used that previous?
So previous travel history means if the user is coming for the first time, so he'll visit and he will book through our website, and for the next time if he is visiting our website, so the previous travel history that he has visited will come into that picture. So it will be the user-friendly website.
Whatever existing sites are there, it is easy in that as well.
So they are it is there in their website as well, but the recommendation part is the main thing which is included in our project.
Recommendation you are doing. Suppose I am the traveler. Okay, suppose I am the traveler.
Yes.
And previously I have booked one of the hotel with a budget of near about say 5,000. Okay. Yes. Wherever I am traveling. So is your recommendation system gives me the list of hotels which are in the range of 4,000 to 6,000? Is it done like?
Correct. Wherever.
Is it done like that?
Yes, sir. The nearby, for example, if the user is wishing.
What do you use? It's okay. You're done like that. What do you used for doing this?
So we are using GPS location, Google GPS to detect the nearby this, and also the data sets we have the data sets
for fetching my history and for comparison, what you have done?
Comparison of data.
If I am booking an hotel of 5,000, you have to compare it, right? First, what I have done. You have to compare it with the hotels which where I am going.
The content-based, yeah, correct. The content-based recommendation system. We are using content-based recommendation system where that's the recommended content-based recommendation we are using to evaluate and train the system.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
So moving for our next presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Meghna Reddy. The title is Multi-Objective and Stable Optimization Enable Traffic Signal Controlling for Traffic Management in City.
Is my screen visible? Hello?
Yes, now it is.
Yeah. Good evening. I'm Meghna Seelam. I am pursuing BTech third year in Windmill College of Engineering, Hyderabad. And my paper is based on multi-objective and seagull optimization enable traffic signal controlling for traffic management in cities. So the objective of this paper is to find new routes and reroute traffic to reduce traffic congestion, which will be done by using methods like Siegel optimization algorithm and multi-objective function. So my this algorithms will be taking in performance metrics like travel time, distance, and average traffic density, and will be providing will be controlling signal through turning on and off the light and rerouting the traffic into new paths. So the main prevailing problem these days is traffic congestion and in metropolitan cities. And this problem will only be increasing because of migration to cities for opportunities and all. And the traffic congestion will be only reduced by discovering features in traffic and detecting patterns using intelligent transport system and controlling the traffic management and guiding through advanced guidance system. So the methodology behind this is taking a smart city map and through satellite images, we will be taking in real traffic pictures, and we will be inputting this in a real database, and segmentation is done by using MATLAB from parameters like traffic density, traffic flow, direction, average vehicle speed, and collision factors. So from these parameters, we'll be doing network simulation, and we'll be acquiring new routes and significant paths where we will be redirecting and rerouting the traffic. So in network simulation, we will be using parameters like traffic density, traffic flow direction, average vehicle speed, collision factors. So in traffic density, we will be observing the available vehicles on the road and by counting the number of vehicles and the length of the road. And in traffic flow direction, we will be, if the vehicles are moving towards the signal, we will be taking it as -1, the input value. And if it is moving away, we will be taking it as +1. And average vehicle speed is calculated by taking the average of the speed of the vehicles that are being traveled on the road. And collision factors are like, we will be taking in drunk and drive conditions, overspeed vehicles, and various vehicle conditions like several factors like brake, accelerator problems, and all. These will be calculated in MATLAB, and through this, the network simulation is done. So the main challenges which we have faced during this research is that communication while executing, and the paper is giving better results for low traffic, and observing results for high metropolitan traffic is a bit complicated. And so while implementing in real time cases for accurate results, it is a bit complicated. So the pseudocode for Siegel optimization algorithm is by finding the fittest position and best position. So first we will be initializing the parameters that are been discussed before, and from this we will be finding the best position. So basically we will be comparing the fittest position and best position, and if the fittest position is better, we will be taking it as output, and we will be getting different paths, and we will be rerouting the traffic into them. So the conclusion is we have taken a data set from called BigAtNet, and it had 59,000 input images. From that, we have taken out the algorithm, and from this we will be getting new routes and everything. And yeah, so the performance metrics are travel time, distance, and average traffic density, and etc. So yeah, thank you.
Have you compared your work with the recent works which are being done?
Yeah, yes, sir. And the recent works are giving results in a few less, like our results are giving a bit faster and the errors are a bit less compared to previous papers.
What exactly is major findings in your research?
Sir?
What exactly was the major issue which you have taken into consideration while doing the research?
Oh, 1 minute. We have taken in the real-time images from satellite, and we will be segmenting it into few tiny images with of equal sizes, so that we will be getting a better results by comparing the images, because the size of the input images matter, and from that we will be acquiring better results. So by examining the input images more clearly, we will be getting a better results.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So moving for our next presentation. Samri Darshan and presenting on design of smart spectacle in 5G IoT environment to detect and prevent coronavirus variants.
Good evening, everyone. May I know my slide is visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, good evening, panel members and everyone, for all the participants. This is Dr. Tamil Harrison, Associate Professor, working in Sriman Culinary Engineering College in Pondicherry. And my work based on smart spectacle design, okay, in 5G IoT environment for the detection and prevention of coronavirus variants, right? And these are all the overviews what I am going to cover in the coming session. It's little introductions with motivation and workflow model, some methodology, and what are the results and the analysis what we have carried out, myself and my team, and finally the conclusion. So of course, introduction is simple. As we all know, so from the past 3 years back, we are faced a very pandemic situation, which is because of the cause of coronavirus, right? It's a novel virus was first reported in Wuhan, China, on the year 2019 December month. From then onwards, we are spreading tremendously, and it's causing more and more and causes more infections to entire world. The virus can spread easily from the infected person to a normal person. So very easily spreading diseases normally. And of course, the infected persons, what are the major symptoms of the infected persons is having very high fever. So, and also the contaminated, the person contaminated by the COVID-19 shows indications other than fever. We have tiredness, dry cough, stuffing nose, right? And the major symptoms is actually based on we detect based upon the human body temperature. So this delivers an ailment automatically characterizes COVID-19 and spread almost entire world, causes nearly 1.51 million deaths so far, and very serious issues. And to prevent the spread, so basically initially infrared thermometer for thermal screening has been utilized, but to find the infected among the crowd, each person body temperature has to be manually checked. So this is what we followed at the early stages of the the pandemic situation. Though this process, what is the problem in this process in taking a time consuming and as a threat of getting spread for the person who does the screening process also, right? And one thing is needed to avoid that situation. Hence, to overcome the problem, we propose a novel method for screening using a smart spectacle with least human interactions, because it is totally based upon the spread is increasing more and more because of the interaction. So how we can reduce the interactions without what is it, any screening process, without any human screening process, that is our novel idea to create a smart spectacle system. So, and also we inbuilt it with the help of IoT technology and thermal camera technology, right? So the screening process will become the more safety and faster compared to the conventional screening what we initially followed. Additionally, the facial recognition method is exploited to get pedestrian information also. And moving to the workflow model, very just what is it? Sorry. Workflow model, it is initially very the scanning suspended zone with what is it, will be scanned using the smart spectacle IR system, and if it is identified the temperature above 98.6 degree Fahrenheit, no action will be required because it is a normal case. If it is above that temperature, what will happen? Suspect identified as a patient and data collection and IoT data transfers will be started, and afterwards specifying the GPS location which is connected in which the smart spectacle system will be inbuilt, and tracking and preventing measures taken if violation clause, and then it will be correct. So two processes will be happening here after GPS location, quarantine and final step, and parallelly the tracking process, then preventive measures will be taken if violation clause, then it will be correct. So the simple the flow model of our and this is a methodology. The task of collecting thermal and optical images is assigned to the proposed smart spectacle method. So, and of course, interfacing of the proposed systems done using the IoT technique and GSM model. And primarily, the smart spectacle scans a suspended zone with the thermal camera and conveys a notice if recognizing temperature is greater than 98.6 degree, which is a average threshold, which what we have fixed out based upon that the probability of that disease. Right, along with the temperature, the person exact locations coordinates determined by the GPS model also will be sent to your smart mobile through GSM model. So this will give the pedestrian information along with that radiation. And the thermal camera, what we have used in that smart spectacle, produces an indistinguishable image by exploiting the IR radiation. So this model segments the image as per the recorded temperature and also the shading pictures to identify the person. So, and of course, human body's high temperature is identified through the thermal camera by comparing the temperature with the other purple temperatures in the nearer scanned zone. So that will be compared with that the temperature. So in this system, we use the Java language and using the Arduino IDE. And of course, the thermal imaging camera for high temperature detection is also placed at the right side of the spectacle. I will show the in we have. So this is the working principle of the smart spectacle system. So the smart the sample images of the smart spectacle it is placed over with IR camera and IoT model. So this is an optical camera is placed at the center of capture to capture the human face, and the Arduino board and IoT model is interface to spectacle through the connecting wires which is placed at the back side of the neck. How the what is it, the spectacle will be the with which is inbuilt with the IoT, and the proposed system may be employed and explored to visualize the thermal image with excellent resolution to find the infected patients. So without the screen, the smart spectacle triggers alarm when the high temperature deviation is observed in the crowd. So it's very simple to detect the persons in the crowd without any intervention. So, and also we can avoid that the crowd if any infected persons is along with that crowd. So without any human interaction. So that is what our major motivation, right? So and this permits the people with infections to be recognized rapidly and detached from the crowd for more accurate testing. And so this is the working principle of our spectacle system. So using this air camera and IoT sensor, the information will be shared and thermal images will be shared through the cloud using Blink software. And this is a smart structure with Arduino and IoT model, how it will be integrated with the IoT model using so node MC. So how it will so through the connecting waves, so the Arduino control based IoT plus model and with the supply, and how the thermal camera will be taking care, and the collecting of information will be passing over. And the sample images of the what is the original image and the thermal image is compared over in this slide using the what is that smart spectacle system. And the convenient gadgets got reachable, of course. So what are the gadgets, the communication gadgets what we are currently using? It's very easy to reach up due to the recent rapid advances of processing performance and the memory also. So there won't be any issues on that matter. So additionally, these advancements facilitate live video streaming in smart gadgets also. That is also possible. Also, another feature is in the proposed project to distinguish the historical backdrop of the visited place made by the individual also will be utilized. So it will be tracked by the Google location history. And whenever the user travels with the smart mobile and the smart spectacle, right? So all the Google location history location or saved in the developed applications, which will be very helpful for identifying the infected location. So it is one of the additional feature which will be added with this smart spectacle model, and that is initiate and figure out this diagram. So Google Map assisted location tracking interface with what is that, a GSM with the help of IoT with smart mobile with the GSM. And this is instructions of how Arduino configurations will be configured, this camera and this processor. So as in the figure, the collected body temperature and infected patient locations communicated to the cloud storage using this model, and this is done by Arduino through the sequential communication using the external Blink server. So this Blink server will be helpful to transfer this information from the what is the Arduino to the cloud. So this system allows officials if the thermal camera reads a higher temperature, and this is a simple Arduino configurations model what we are used to develop this smart spectacle system project. And this is small analysis with this model. So these cases identify using the developer technologies is shown in this figure. So from the graph, it is very clearly visible that this developed methodology helps in tracking the COVID-19 cases very effectively. How rapidly they increases the persons uses this technology. So further to evaluate the performance of the developed smart spectacle, it has been subjected to comparative analysis with the previous competitive methods. So from this analysis, it is found that the developed smart spectacle has very high accuracy in detecting the COVID-19 patients and can be very much useful during the pandemic situation. So you can observe this the number of cases versus the date what is it, in terms of dates, how they are moving to this technology for identifying the patients. So and also the comparative analysis technique is given over here with the reference 14 with the developed smart spectacle. In case of competition time, mean square mean square error and accuracy, it is very better when compared with the previous method what we used. And also the completion time is very minimum to find out the COVID invariants. So here minimum taking 25 seconds, whereas on the previous references what we quoted in 14th reference, it is taking 66 seconds. And also we have the accuracy and square error also very minimum. And this is the final conclusion. So using this
Hello.
The passions and the identify one of the sorry panel members, there is a little bit disconnectivity for my conclusion. So thank you and welcome for the query session. Thank you all.
No questions from my side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So moving for our next presentation, Jane Swaminathan, and is presenting on design of social distance monitoring approach using wearable smart tags in 5G IoT environment during pandemic conditions. The presenter, you may please start your presentation. And please make it fast as we have running out of time.
whether my screen is visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you. Very good evening to the session chair. Today I am going to present on design of social distance monitoring approach using wearable smart tag in 5G IoT environment during pandemic condition. Myself, Dr. J.N. Swaminathan, Professor of QA's College of Technology, and my fellow authors, Professor Fernando Raul and Xavier Santa Cruz, Milton from Ecuador, and G.D. Vignesh from India. So here, as usual, any pandemic condition, especially we have gone through this COVID-19 case, which is caused a major problem both to the universe, both in health issues and in economic crisis. So here, my motivation to do this project work is prevention is better than cure. So in even in COVID-19, Omicron variant is infecting towards Asia and Europe. We are seeing through media news that still there is, we are seeing a fourth wave, fifth wave is originating. And recently, just 2 days before, here in IIT Madras, after 2 months of period, a new cluster has been formed. So still people are getting, even though we are having prevention vaccinated through this vaccination, but still the infection is spreading, and we are seeing cluster is forming and new emergence, fourth and fifth wave is keep on coming. So here, as per the WHO norms, there should be a 2-meter gap, and we need to change our lifestyle with proper social distance and hygiene. There may be a question, countries like India and China, where population explosion is very high, how we can able to manage this 2-meter distance gap. So simple thing, thanks to Arogya Setu app, where it will notify the cluster formation and infected people locations, so that this project will be useful when people are going to those particular areas. So that is another thing. This already in existing method, people are monitoring the infected people through CCTV cameras, IR cameras, and all these things. Best thing is we can prevent ourselves on our own in whatever ways. So my development is, one of the way is through smart sensor tag using IoT technology. So this is the motive I have to tell. So simple thing. This is the picture which I have been taken from WHO, which is the social distancing norms, which we need to take care in the infected areas. So yeah, when any people is, there is a need to go to a area which already having a corona COVID cluster, so we can follow these norms. So this is the simple thing. So identification of research gap. As I told you earlier, we are already using some of the existing technology. First thing, they are very bulkier, and second thing, the wearable electronic gadgets which have been used or based upon the expensive material, and it will be bulkier also. So almost we are exposed to the Wi-Fi environment wherever we are going, whenever we are going, like highly crowded areas like railway station, bus stand, and airport. We are having Wi-Fi. So using this small sensor tag won't be an issue. It will create a warning if we are not following the cluster, or it will tell the infected people is nearby to you. So that is the main important thing. So this is the identification of research gap from the existing system. So along with that, we can develop a app for the same, so that it can be monitored even in the mobile phone. Those who don't want to use this tag. So objective to propose a IoT based smart wearable tag for social distance monitoring to prevent COVID-19. This is not for COVID-19, any pandemic situation. And to alarm the people, proposed tag also entries the data in the IoT ledger, so that it can be used for further analysis. We have done the small analysis using things of software using data analytica. There we have done to propose system which responds adequately, so that social distancing can be maintained and pandemics can be prevented further spreading. So here, as far as say in 1918 and now 2020 and more, where how we can break this, overcome this pandemic situation is breaking the chain. Any pandemic spread, how it can be overcome is first thing. Yes, we can do vaccinated, first thing, but breaking the chain. We have to prevent ourselves, and if we follow the norms, it can be prevented easily. It is a very highly challenging environment for the peoples in Asia, especially because due to the population, to analyze the experimental setup through things of using the IoT channel data analytics. So these are the sensor modules we have taken. We have used as a simple Atmel processor, Adreno Pro Mini, and a Wi-Fi model, and ultrasonic distance sensor mode, and a NeoPixel ring, and piezoelectric sensor, and a battery 200 mAh. So here in this, I just want to tell you the one of the challenging thing is in any IoT system is battery usage. Here, I can tell one of the disadvantages is using the battery. We are just using the 3.7 volt battery for the sensor tag for the entire system, so that the life period for that particular thing will deteriorated from say 6 hours to 1 hour as the life of the sensor tag is goes on. Once again, we need to recharge like our mobile. So proposed layer-wise module. I am proposing the sensor wearable tag as a physical layer, where using the sensor tag and the sensor actuators will be get connected, so that the sensor will be acting in the edge layer and the data will be transferred. That is analog to digital, digital to analog. The entry will be stored in the things of the ThinkSpeak data module, and it for further data analysis. So here the varying and how many people we have across a day or per month, we can able to do the analysis. Based upon that, how we can able to calculate the infection rate, and we can able to calculate when we are going through a clustered area where number of infected peoples are very high, so that we can able to come across, so that this data will be will be little helpful to prevent the COVID spread. So proposed IoT based smart tag, as we use the ultrasound sensor will be used. Here we are using the MATLAB Analytica using the ThinkSpeak, and using the Atmel processor, we are implemented this. So the thing is, we have tested with both people who are below, who are in between below 2 meters, and we have checked it with further more far more distance. already some tags has been developed in Japan, where it is a little bit bulkier. If that person is little bit come nearer to that, that is less than 2 meter, automatically medical spray will come out of this particular tag. So that
you have last 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you. We can able to spread it. So these are the coding algorithm we have implemented in this particular work. And this is the data which we have taken in the ThinkSoft IoT. So we have taken in 4 different cases. One inside the 2 meter, one outside the 2 meter, and one nearer and farther away. Likewise, we have taken. We have taken in various dates, and also it can be improved. We can able to take it at various time also. In distance measure also we can able to do. So conclusion. So IoT based smart wearable tags for social distance monitoring is to prevent this particular tag will prevent COVID-19 disease. The advantage is to develop a system which will alarm the person and using that smart wearable device. That is the thing. So we can the developed system responds adequately, and social distance monitoring can be developed further. So that as I told you, spraying the medical sprays can be developed, which is developed in using by some PG scholars in Japan, and we have stored it in Speak Ledger. It can be further it can be developed in cloud, so that we can make a cost-effective device and also in an economical world. So this result shows successfulness, and we have done a small work to give way for the community. Thank you so much. Is there any questions? These are our references. Our references are mostly from 2022 till now.
No, sir, no questions. Nice presentation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so for our next presentation is Vinod Kumar Buntal, and presenting on Internet of Things enabled diabetic retinopathy classification from fundus images.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. My topic name is Internet of Things Enabled Diabetic Retinopathy Classification from Fundus Images, and myself Vinod Kumar Bhutnal, and my supervisor name is Dr. M. Nageshwar. And these are my outlines. Today, this is the overview of presentation. The first one is problem statement, then objectives, the motivation of research, literature survey, methodology of the proposed research, and scope of the research. And this is my problem statement. First, we have to formulate the problem of automatic DR CAD system, that is computer automatic detect system connected with the IoT system for designing our automatic cost-effective and efficient deep learning based mechanism for diabetic retinopathy classification. And here we are using a consolidated approach for automatic DR classification and severity analysis through the effective mechanism. So my screen is moving now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. And these are my objectives. The first objective is here we have to develop the.
You are stuck at first slide itself.
No, sir.
Now it is okay.
By maximizing, I think it is not moving, sir. Can I continue like this?
Yes, continue.
Yes, and these are my objective. And the first objective is here we have to develop the Internet of Medical Things for automatic diabetic retinopathy diagnosis system. And means here we are using the computer-aided automatic detection system. And my second one is to design a novel deep learning model for robust and efficient IOMT enabled diabetic retinopathy detection. And the next one is here we have to design the consolidated model of IOMT enabled automatic diabetic retinopathy detection and severity analysis. And the last one is we have to implement, or we have to model and simulate and evaluate the proposed models using publicly available research data set. And these are my motivation of the research. It is observed that recently the early prediction of DR diseases along with the severity analysis is challenging research problem, and several concerns like funders, images modalities, image quality, computational efficiency, accurate reason of the interest localization, and overall accuracy. Means basically here we are focusing on the iris of our eye, and most of the works have been built using the automatic mechanism of deep learning for DR classification. And one more motivation is very few attempts were reported for this finding the DR classification, and this is a severity analysis, but not sufficient for by using the IOMT enabled smart healthcare system. And this motivates us to attempt the novel IOMT enabled automatic DR classification and severity analysis from our input retinal fundus images. Sir, one second. And these are my literature surveys. And these are my literature survey. The first paper is, which one is published in 2021, and the author name is Mr. Andre M. and Arfara. The title of this paper is Multi-Scale Attention Network for Diabetic Retinopathy Classification. In this paper, the techniques are used, the MSA-NET, that is Multi-Scale Attention Network for DR characterization. And the advantage of this, they applied the encoder network to insert the retina picture under an reliable level authentic space where the mix of mid and significant level highlights had used. And the limitation of this one is the work is limited only the MSA network for DR. And the next paper is that is the 2021, and the title of the paper is a benchmark for studying diabetic retinopathy segmentation, grading and transferability. Here they have used techniques the zeroed in on the structure of the enormous data set, the retinal fundus picture of the DR arrangement. And they developed the advantage of this paper is they developed the huge fine-grained command on DR data set, for example, containing the 2848 pictures. And the work is limited here for fundus image only. And one more paper is, which one is also published in 2021, and that is a deep learning system for detecting diabetic retinopathy across the diseases spectrum. And here the work is limited for only profounding the learn framework deep DR. And one more paper which is also from 2021, and here is the work is limited for utilizing the class case layer and softmax layer. Okay, sir, only 1 second, sir. Using that is the, yes, sir. And these are the methodologies for my proposed system, that is my proposed research. First, we have to define here IOMT enabled DR CAT system. The first aim of this research is to present the IOMT enabled DR classification and severity analysis CAT system. In this contribution, we are using the theoretical design of IOMT system that consists of different things and their rules for the automatic DR detection. And the next one is automatic DR classification. Here also we are applying some CAD system on the input retinal fundus images for the disease detection. And the next one is automatic DR classification and severity analysis. Here the severity analysis is the important task in the DR treatment. In this phase, we attempt to perform the appropriate features extraction and selection the directly related to the diseased. And my scope of the research examines the computer-based diagnosis approach that can assist in diabetic retinopathy screening by recognizing early indication of diabetic retinopathy in retinal fundus picture. And these are my references. Thank you, sir. Any question?
For image retrieval, what do you have used?
Hello.
For image retrieval, what you have used?
Sir, for image retrieval here I have used that is deep learning image processing, and also I'm using IoT, Internet of Medical Things, because now I have started this work. This is about my literature survey.
Internet of Medical Thing, what it is?
What, sir?
What is IoTM? That is what you have said, no? IoTM, that is Internet
Yes, sir,
of Medical
Internet of Medical Things. Because earlier the what you call the diabetic retinopathy, the picture of what you call the fundus image is not clear. Here we can take a clear picture of for early detection of DR system. That is CAD system by using.
Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So next presenter is Preeti Ranjan Sahu, and is presenting on COVID-19 triggers a paradigm shift in technology for insurance industry.
I believe my full screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is purely based on secondary database research from various literature we have gathered, and this is more of a literature survey kind of research. But we try to evaluate the current status of technology adoption in the insurance industry, and starting with all these ideas, we looked at the present situation, COVID-19, which forced the insurance sector and the technology firms to adopt newer technology and newer business policies, newer business formulas. So the impact has both, the COVID-19 has impacted both general insurance, life insurance, health insurance, all kind of insurance sectors. And the insurance sector tried to revitalize the technology paradigms and bring new changes. So digitalization has become the core of business functions, no more a ancillary function. The cloud implementation has come into forefront, and new opportunities have come, and new business development have come. Say, for example, pay miles auto insurance. So earlier, what was happening? People are paying, say, for example, for auto insurance, people are paying annually. So whether you use your car or you don't use your car, you pay your insurance policy is renewed every year, and you pay the same amount, whether you ride 10,000 miles or you ride 0 miles. But the competition has forced, and the customer demand has forced the insurance provider through technology that as you run, you pay. So if you run, so you pay your insurance kind of running you have. That kind of new technology. I'm just citing one example among many. So this is the global stance. The insurance penetration is just 7.3%. We assume that insurance, everyone has an insurance for their vehicle or for their life or for their health or other things. Just your penetration globally is 7.3%. Of course, there are developed nations, developing nations, and underdeveloped nations. But this is the status. The business is trying to be rich, growing to reach 10 trillion USD by 2030, and there are 40% of the insurance technology companies, they are going for these disruptive distribution channels, various new channels they are adopting, and so newer the customer requirement and market demand is changing. So this is the trend. In 2020, when the pandemic started, the business was down and the market was low and it was in negative. But the 2021, the growth rapidly came up, and 2022 it is projected. Different countries, excluding China, if you look at other developing emerging markets, the growth is phenomenal. And these are the global findings we found. And these are the trends. If you look at the adoption of artificial intelligence, analytics, or cloud computing, or chatbots, or digital ready workplace, and all this, these are the percentage, blockchain, distributed ledger, or mobile technology, cyber security adoptions, and all this. So these are the global scenario. These are the insurance insurtech companies trend. And these are a snapshot of the pre-COVID era and ongoing COVID era, or the post or during the phase of COVID era. So earlier the companies, they were adopting the legacy model and digitalizations. Now absolute digitalization has got momentum. It has got acceleration. Few customized products were offered now. Several customized products. I just cited one example. There are several other examples. New insurance, insurance offerings are there, and the technology is helping to dish out these technology adoptions. So there is also a radical changes commercially of the self package, customer made, custom made, tailor made e-cots products have come. Earlier, company was very reluctant to offer this kind of commercially off the shelf packages. Now, companies they are forced they are adopting because of the competitions and the peer pressure and other things. So they are adopting newer technologies with all this, starting from cloud computing to network and all this, right? So these are the trending momentum at the moment. Face-to-face contact has gone off, and now companies are trying to how to they virtually they integrate and they interact with their customers. User-based insurance, ESG, that is environmental, socially, and governance, top priority for direct impact on COVID, and personalizations of products, very, very customized personalization of product, a new product has come. These are the new changes have come. So how the companies are focusing, and what is the new trend? What is the takeaway for us? So they are integrating their technology, they are upskilling their workforce, they are innovating new ideas, new changes with change of disruptive technologies. Enterprises are becoming more agile, and they are believing in trends and trinity of optimizations. And hybrid work model has come into force, and all these are based on the base of technology. That's all for you. Thank you very much. Yes,
it is a kind of case study research, right?
It is our secondary data and literature review, and focused on few companies' case studies. 3 companies we have taken as case study, right, sir?
Okay, fine. Thank you.
I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have been already forwarded to the speaker, and the publication will be live within 5 to 6 months. So kindly cooperate with Team ICTIS 2022. Now, I also thank our session chair, Professor Nilesh Poparsable, for chairing the session. I want to show some token of appreciation from the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and Team ICTIS 2022. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presence and sharing time with us.
Thank you, sir. Can we leave?
1 minute, sir. I would like to request you all to turn on your camera for the quick snapshot for the virtual conference.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.